Jurak Classic Whole Body Tonic is a dietary supplement, not a drug. Therefore, it is useful to affect the structure and/or function of your body in various ways, but it is not intended to and will not cure, mitigate, treat, or prevent any disease. Individual testimonials may not be everyone's experience and do not constitute scientific evidence. Jurak Corporation does not make any drug or treatment claims for its product.
So hello everyone. Welcome again to a great call, a super great call. I have two Bettys on the line tonight. Our usual favorite, Betty, who always is hosting with me, and this time she was able to round up another lady whose name also is Betty, who has a great, great story for you, and I'm going to let Betty 1 take over and introduce Betty 2. How's that sound?
That sounds good to me. Thank you.
Perfect. Go for it.
Tonight? Everybody doing good, I hope. Actually, Betty's been on the JC Tonic since January, and we talk quite often, and she called me on Friday to order her bottle, and she said to me, I have a really, really great story about my cat, and you know me, I love my animals, so I said, well, that's amazing. I said, do you want to be on the conference call and tell your story? And she goes, sure. So I said, well, what I'll do is I'll hold your order until Monday, because this was on Friday. And I said, you're going to get a free bottle along with your regular order. So she was quite happy about that.
Oh, good. You did that. Free bottle. Perfect.
Yeah. So anybody listening, any of you JC Tonic people who are having amazing results, which I'm sure is just about everybody, please do the same as Betty's doing today. And, so we're going to ship for 2 bottles tomorrow instead of just 1.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So, Betty, if you want to tell your story, maybe start with how the products worked for you, and then we can start talking about your cat, Tommy, and what's been happening with Tommy as well.
Okay. I had been on the tonic way back when and went off of it, and I don't remember why or how, but I really felt that I needed to be back on the tonic, and I didn't have any information, and I had to shop around, and finally I found it, and I called Betty 1, and she got me involved again, which is fantastic, because it was a time in my life when I'd just gone through helping 3 people with their end-of-life situations. And then they were both gone, and my blood pressure was going through the roof, and I knew it was just from anxiety and tension of caring for those people. So I got back on the tonic, and whoopee, my blood pressure is down. I'm feeling great, and I'm dealing with my big 22-pound cat.
And your cat's name is Tommy.
Whose name is Tommy, yes. And he...
Hey, Betty, just before you get to Tommy, What about Betty? Your blood pressure is down to normal?
Is just at the higher level of normal now. It's 130 over something. And prior to that, it was getting up to be 200 over something. And
holy cow.
That's very scary, but it came down kind of slowly, gradually, because, of course, I had to shed all my anxiety and depression because of what I was going through.
Were you taking medications for the blood pressure?
Yes, but none of them worked, and they kept putting me on different ones, and finally I said, I'm not switching anymore. If this doesn't work, you guys are done. Forget it.
And it didn't work.
It didn't work. I'm still on some blood pressure medication because they're afraid that whatever I'm doing is going to change, and then it'll go up, and then I'll be in big trouble.
Do they know you're taking the tonic?
At this point, no, because I haven't seen them. I started on the tonic in January, and I haven't seen them since.
What has happened then exactly? You're still on medication, and the pressure did not go down until you started the tonic, then it went down? Is that how it works?
That's correct. That's it exactly.
So now you're down to 130, but you're also on the medication.
Yes, but the medication wasn't helping before. So when I see the doctor with my annual, which is coming up in a couple of months, I'm going to say, hey, I don't need this anymore.
Well, you should stop it now and see what happens. I mean, all it can do is go up to 200 again, and if it does take the medication, it'll go down. If it doesn't go up and your pressure stays down, you're home free.
Well, after what I saw, what happened with Tommy, I think that's good advice.
What happened with Tommy? Has he got high blood pressure?
No. No, Tommy's this 22-pound big cat, and he was for a while a foster kitty, and then my uncle died of cancer, and he willed Tommy to me.
Is Tommy a fat cat or a big cat?
Oh, he's just a big cat.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
No fat on him. He's lean and mean, and he was getting to be really mean, and I knew that he probably was in pain because he was doing the hiding in the closet and stuff. And finally I thought, doggone it, I don't know if this is going to kill him or not, but he's being he's being so nasty. I'm going to give him some tonic. So I give him about 10 drops a day in the bottom of his dish, and then I put his wet food on top of it. And he doesn't know why, but he really loves his wet food now.
That's right.
I thought maybe, he'd smell it or something, and then he wouldn't eat his wet food. But, oh, no, he loves his wet food. He, of course, has kibbles for the rest of the day and lots of water around because he's got to have water. But I started him on it last Sunday, which is only a week ago. He was growly. His hips were bothering him so much he'd walk a couple of steps and then he'd flop down and look at me like, don't make me walk anymore. And I thought, okay, buddy, we're going to see if this helps or not. So he was not walking. He was sleeping a lot. He wasn't eating very much. And on Monday, which is the next day, he seemed happier. I could tell he wasn't hurting so much. He practically leaped on a branch of a tree and was playful and talkative and not sleeping so much and walking lots more.
After one day?
After one day, yes. By Tuesday, he was walking longer distances. He was playful. He wasn't flopping down on his side anymore. He wasn't sleeping very much, and has not been hiding for 2 days. But he's still not doing stairs to the basement. That's our next challenge. On Wednesday, the third day, he actually ran to a place where he thinks there's a chipmunk, and he's also not needing much urging, and he seems very happy. He almost has a smile on his face.
Cheshire cat.
Yeah, the cat. Cheshire for sure. Anyway, then on Thursday, he ran out to the chipmunk tunnel, waited, caught a juvenile chipmunk, and brought it to me. And I thought, wow, this is a happy kitty now. And he wants to be outside all the time now. It's out, now. And he's been walking the perimeter of the yard. So yesterday and Saturday, he's been running around the outside of the house. And on Saturday, he ran under the raised deck and leaped up onto a 6-foot rock wall.
Holy smokes.
With a big grin on his face, like, see, I did it.
Wow.
So, he's one happy kitty now. He wants to be outside all the time because he feels so good, but he has to be on a leash. So guess what? That means I have to be out there with him.
Why does he have to be on a leash?
Because that's the city law here. And I have a street right in front of me that has a lot of traffic, and that wouldn't be a good thing. He'd be a Tommy pancake pretty soon if he was loose. Yeah, I don't want that. Wow,
that is a remarkable, great story.
Yeah, I feel Betty, I said, I'm just so excited. I got to tell you about this. And she said, well, you do. Yes, you have to tell me.
Gee, you sound more excited about Tommy than about your blood pressure going down.
Well, yes, that was a long, hard row.
Wow.
Amazing. Yeah, it really does affect animals quick. And
I have a cat indoors and six of them outside, but the indoor one, I mean, there's a bowl for it. We have two dogs. There's a bowl, about a gallon of water, and every time I fill it up, I put like a cap full of the JC in it. So
wow.
they get their share, and the cat drinks from the same bowl, so they all get it just through the water. It's easier for you, for your cat, or if you have other animals, you put it in the water, and you put only enough. I mean, you don't need very much, and so they don't even really realize the taste may be there. But you see the change in no time because they drink a lot of water,
Yes, they do. Yeah. Well, I just felt this was the easiest way to find out if Tommy was getting it or not, and because he has water bowls around, and sometimes he doesn't drink from them. Sometimes he'd rather drink from my glass, in which case I'm in trouble then.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, at 22 pounds, he's like a little tiger. I mean, boy, that's a big cat.
Well, when he doesn't want to mind, when he was feeling all grumpy, he didn't think twice about ripping me with his knife-like nails and claws.
Oh, wow. Gee.
Yeah. But he's not doing that anymore, and I think it was just because he was hurting so much.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, that's
this
wonderful
is great
news, isn't it? Amazing. I know I'm like you, Anthony. I have 6 cats. I have 2 dogs, but of course I have a horse in my backyard. And my dogs, because I'm cleaning their dish like 5-6 times a day, their water dish. So my guys take it in milk in the afternoon. Yeah, they love milk, and they'll just drink it up. And then I know for sure, because they're fussy too, that their food, they wouldn't eat it if I put it on their food for some reason.
Yeah.
So they like it in their milk, and they get it every day, and I know they finish their bowls. So.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, that's a great. Love those animal stories. There are more and more and more of them. Keep them coming. What else you got to tell us, Betty?
Well, right now that's all I've got to tell you. I don't have any problems with the tonic. I think it's wonderful, and I was so glad to be able to find it again.
Well, I'm glad you did, and would be wonderful if your doctor said, "Really, you're taking that tonic? Boy, that's good." But he won't, or she won't.
No.
Well, they probably won't. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. Well, we certainly wish you a lot of luck with the blood pressure. Keep it down.
Thank you. I'll try.
And Tommy, well, it looks like he's home free, so get a bigger leash.
Yeah, a longer one for sure.
Longer one, that's right. That's
Can
super.
you send a picture on an email to us, Betty, at all?
I don't have those capabilities.
Oh, okay, well, no problem then.
I have paper photographs of him I could send.
I don't know, would we be able to use that, Anthony? Or?
Oh, absolutely, sure. You got a photograph of him when he's lackadaisical, and then another one when he's up and at 'em again?
I could probably, I don't know, I can't promise that, because he doesn't, not right now, he's not sitting still for very long.
Oh, you need a video.
Oh, please. Yeah, he'll think he's in a movie. Forget it.
Well, I'll leave that up to Betty One to work things out with you. Whatever you can, you can. What you can't, you can't. But of course, all those kind of things are just so much more helpful for sharing with other people. But look, do what you can, Betty. And the main thing,
yes, I will.
You're much better shape. Your cat's in super shape, and
yes,
we appreciate you coming on the call and telling us all this good stuff.
Thank you so much.
How old is Tommy?
Tommy's going to be 12.
Okay. Well, you'll still get a lot of good years out of him, especially.
Oh, yes, yes. My kitties usually live to be 20, 23 years, so I'm expecting to have them a long time yet.
Mm-hmm. That's great news. Okay, well, thank you for coming on, and we'll get your shipment out to you with that free bottle on Monday, and maybe you can share the bottle with Tommy.
Oh, you bet. Okay. Thank you so much.
Much appreciated. Thanks, Betty.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now. So there we are, folks. You can get your free bottle. All your pals can get their free bottle. All your family can get their free bottle. And by the way, you get the free bottle if you come on with an animal story. A lot of people are not thinking about that. And maybe Betty number 2 would not have thought about it either, except that Betty number 1 asked her about it. So when you're talking to folks, ask them if they have an animal and is there an animal health challenge, and use the JC, because everybody will do anything in the world to help their pet. So those stories are just as important, maybe to a lot of people more important than their own health. But certainly they're very important, and they constitute a story in the scheme of things vis-a-vis this offer that we have. So you can come on and do a story like Betty 2 just did, yourself and your animal. You get a free bottle. You can come on and tell just a story about yourself if there's no animal in your life, or one just about your animal if there's a really outrageous, wonderful story. And by the way, we've been talking for the last few months about gearing up to do an all-animal conference call. Probably last about an hour. So we have a lot of people lined up to do it, and here is one more story that's going to be a good part of it. We have a picture, it's here, or we've already sent it out with the email, or it's going to be going out of this Tommy cat. And do the same thing. If you have an animal that is in dire straits, shoot a couple of photos, because afterwards, when you do the photos, you'll be like Betty. You'll have to chase the cat around to get the photograph, because they will be so full of energy. But those photos, of course, as with humans, they're worth 1,000 words. So get rolling, everybody. You have a lot to do. And don't forget, you have to pay it forward. We have so many people we're talking to, and they have, like, a miracle happens to them. And then they don't tell their family or their friends. Some of them tell us, well, I don't want them to think I'm a nut. Well, look, folks, people have been thinking I'm a nut for 50 years. Because it doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter who you speak to, you can probably kind of count on the fact that 8 out of 10 people will think you're a nut. It doesn't matter. It's the other 2. And if you get the other 2, let me tell you, that's like batting 1,000 in baseball. So please, share your story, especially if you have something that people can see. Make sure they see you. They'll start to tell you what's going on. You look different. Whip out your old picture of you the way you were, and they'll see the difference in you today. Those are really, really important and easy ways to share this wonderful, miraculous preparation, okay? So next week is Labor Day weekend. We're going to take off and not labor, so there will not be a call. But the week after, back in the saddle. And don't forget, this is good for your dog, cat, horse, fish, snake, ferret, whatever pet you have. And it's easy to put in the water because they all drink water. And there's no question about anything. In the food, they might get, maybe sniff it up and say, well, next time. But water, no problem. Okay? So thank you very much for being on the call. Nice to have you again. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a great rest of the evening and a super-duper week. And don't forget, take an ounce and feel the bounce. Bye for now.